All right, thank you very much. As he mentioned, the name of my program tonight is Memory Magic, and I made a point of meeting everybody here tonight. So if everybody would do me a quick favor and stand up real quick, if you would. If for any reason that's a problem, you just raise your hand, that'd be fine if you're uncomfortable standing for any period of time. I'll do this as quick as I can here. Let's see, I've met everybody here. So Dana, you can have a seat here. And let's see, this is Craig, I believe, right now. Oh, and by the way, please cover your name tags. That makes it a little too easy. Sorry, sometimes I forget.
Yeah, real good.
Thank you. And you are Joe, and you are Carl. Okay. All right. So yes, please keep your name tags covered. Otherwise, all my hard work was in vain here. So let's see. Over here we have Dave. You can be seated there. And let's see. This is Clark. And next to Clark here we have Tom. And Tom is sitting next to. Let's see. I had to come back and ask you, Jerry. And let's see. Over here we have Steve sitting next to Dan. Over here we have Rick. And let's see, this is Lou. Lou is sitting next to Randy. Randy, let's see, next table over here, this is Howard. Howard sitting next to John. John sitting next to Joe. Excellent, you can go ahead and have a seat there. And let's see, over here is Bill and Bill. Okay, and let's see, on the end there we have Vic. And let's see, over here we have Corey. Please cover your name tags. I don't want anybody to think I'm cheating here. So, all right, and let's see, we have Corey. He sat down. We have Jerry. And next to Jerry is John. Behind John is Vance. Next to Vance is another John right there. And let's see, over here we have Tom, our police chief. Excellent. We'll come over here. Bob, over here in the very corner. And let's see, next to Bob is, let's see, this is Don. And next to Don is Brock. Coming this way is Jeff in the orange colored sweatshirt there. And let's see, over here is Steve. And let's see, coming this way we have, let's see, we have Ron. Right over here. Just this side is Bill right here. Excellent. And you are standing next to another Bill also. And just to the left of you there is Gary. Gary, you can have a seat there. And we have Les. And we have Larry. And let's see, over here, let's see, we are looking at another Bill, I believe. Bill, right? Hey, Bill, you can sit there. And let's see, we have Bob Sauer right there, because I called him. And let's see, this is Don. And you did phone me. Please cover your name tags again. I don't want anybody to think I'm peeking here. So let's see, this is Howard. Howard is next to Joe. We have Paul over here, and we have Kathy, we have Robert, and last but not least, we have Bill. Yeah, the bills have it, yes. There just seem to be a lot of bills. So how did I start to do this? How did I learn to do this, and why am I doing it today? Well, it all started when I was a very young kid, because my dad got me a toy padlock when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And the combination, I couldn't find online a picture of exactly what it looked like. The combination of the padlock I had, it used letters instead of colors. But it was a toy padlock very similar to this. And the combination was simply the word look, L-O-O-K. And I couldn't remember it. So my dad taught me a picture image that he had learned through Dale Carnegie, and I only learned that because very recently, as I started doing this program, he shared that with me. But he shared with me as a very young kid this gift of learning picture images to associate with different items. And that's the only thing that got me through school, because I battled attention deficit disorder horribly, and this was the only way that I could save myself and back up and learn things on my own and actually put them to memory. Now, this was something he taught me one time, but just offhandedly as a kid, and I just retained it in my memory. So when you share something like this with somebody, keep in mind, you could be making a huge lasting impression in somebody's life just by sharing one little thing. So this is what this has done for me. Now, how many people here have ever heard the term the butterfly effect? Yeah, the butterfly effect? The butterfly effect states that simply a butterfly in Africa could theoretically flap its wings and create a weather-related chain of events, weather-related phenomenon, that could then in turn set off a thunderstorm or a blizzard on the other side of the planet. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but when I was in about 8th grade, the term the butterfly effect took on a new meaning to me. When I was in the 8th grade, we read a book called A Sound of Thunder. It was by Ray Bradbury, science fiction. In A Sound of Thunder science fiction story, time travel was possible. Time travel was possible, and a company would take you back in time and allow you to hunt a dinosaur. Now, they'd only let you hunt a dinosaur that was about to die of natural causes anyway. After all, they were time travelers. They knew these things, right? Because they didn't want you to change anything in the future. They didn't want you to disturb the future. They also had a hovering path through the forest so that you didn't destroy or kill anything in the woods. Now, in the story, one of the hunters accidentally steps off of the hovering path and kills a butterfly. Kills the butterfly. They come back to modern day America. Everything has changed. A different president's been elected, a different language is spoken. Everything has changed because of the death of that one butterfly. So we got into a group discussion, and everyone pretty much agreed in the beginning that there was no possible way that all this change could happen from one butterfly millions of years ago. But I started the conversation in a different direction and made everybody realize that this huge chain reaction of events could occur. And what this has done is created well, really a new habit in myself. And in creating this habit, what I do now is I trace conversations backwards, and I realize how important each of these steps are in our life. For instance, sometimes I'll just take a conversation, I'll say, why did we start talking about this? What put me in this place? What started this topic of the conversation? And sometimes I find I'm at a get-together, and here people are planning on doing business together, or going on a trip somewhere, or doing something really exciting. And it all started, as I trace the conversation, way back, because somebody got cut off in traffic on the way to the party or the meeting. And the conversation has taken that twist. But what this has done is given me a phenomenal skill in business, something that's really paid off for me. As most business people do, I keep a list. When I take a booking, whether it be, you may not call it a booking, whatever business you're in, you may call it something else. Whenever I get a booking for a speaking engagement or a magic show or whatever it is, I have a printed, on my bottom of my printed form there, it says, where did they find me? So for instance, let's say they saw me speak or present to Lincoln Financial. Well, underneath that, I write down, I make a little note, almost like a little family tree. Where did they find me? And where did they find me? And what put me in that place? And how did that happen? And I trace it all the way back. Oh, this became because of the Chamber of Commerce meeting. And this, oh, I went to that chamber meeting because I had lunch with such and such. I had lunch with such and such because I crossed paths with so-and-so. And I trace it back as far as I can. And the reason this is so important is because oftentimes I can trace these bookings. I can trace tens of thousands of dollars worth of work sometimes, all the way back to meeting somebody in a bar and having a couple of magic tricks and some business cards in my pocket. And once you realize the value of what you're doing every day, going to those Rotary Club meetings, going to those Chamber of Commerce meetings, meeting people, handing out cards. I traced 5 trade shows that I did for a company nationwide. They flew me all over the country to entertain at their trade shows. And I traced it all back to somebody that I met at the dog park near my house, and I handed them a business card. But I never would have made that association. I would have never realized that I'd gone all over the country like that unless I had developed this habit of going step by step by step and realizing. That's also really great too, because you can thank the last person that referred you, etc. So it has other applications as well. So there's many different places you can apply this into. So that's my definition anyway of the butterfly effect. Now most people are probably looking at memorizing all these names and thinking it's really huge. So I'm going to scale it down. And every time I tell people that they can do this, they don't believe me. But I'm going to tell you right now, everybody in the room here, I'm going to give you 15 items to memorize over the next 5 minutes. And I'm going to have everybody in the room here memorize 15 items, okay? In order. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to have you citing all of them in order, okay? So the first item I brought here, show you that one in a second here. Because, actually, a couple of things on habit I want to cover, first of all. Oftentimes, I think the biggest obstacle in doing this kind of thing is your own mindset. People think, oh, that's too hard to take on, that's too big of a challenge, that's too much to memorize. So don't be your own worst enemy, because oftentimes, the solution to your own problem is right in front of you. Okay? So really, it's about creating a habit more than anything else. Now, how many people have heard of this book? Very popular. Yeah, everybody's heard of this book, right? By the way, I'm working on a spin-off of this book. Yeah, the title of mine's a little bit different. It's called 7 Highly Effective Habits of Dysfunctional People. So again, we have 15 items. Now,